true story. I am live right now on YouTube from my car. Has the video started yet? Can you actually hear me? I'm not even using a microphone. This is such bad production value. My technique here tonight is not typical. I hope the stream works okay. I mean, I realize this is going to look like garbage with the car lights. Very, very much mood lighting. Oh, maybe it's better over here. Maybe I got to get away from the lights. I'm going to give it a minute or two here to warm up and let hopefully everybody join this live stream. At SAP Center still right now, and I have to tell you, my mistake was I meant to do this video before I walked out of the building, but I completely forgot. And then I realized, well, should I do it when I get home later? Probably not. Things won't be as fresh. So right here, right now, from the parking lot at SAP Center in my car, I'm going to give you some takeaways from tonight's 4-3 win by the Sharks. That's how they start their 31st season of existence. By the way, in the chat, in the comments, if you could just tell me, can you hear me? Is everything looking decent enough? Is it sounding okay? My air conditioner is on too. I feel like I need it a little bit. Maybe it's this jacket. So I'm going to leave that on. Anyway, the biggest takeaway from tonight is not only being down 2-0, early on in the game, but that's the exact type of game that they would have lost last year. And not only that, that's the type of game that would get away from them. They're down 2-0, maybe they get one, and then it's 2-1, but then it's 3-1, then it's 4-1, and it's not even close in the third period. It's almost like a procedural third period. Instead, tonight, it wasn't even halfway through the second period. In fact, look at the scoring. It was 3:38 into the second period. They get a shorthanded goal, the Sharks do, and then 13-17, Jasper Weatherby's first NHL goal. Just like that, after 40, it being 2-2, I mean, again, you're at level ground on the scoreboard. You're how you started on the scoreboard, but it definitely did not feel like that. It was that the Sharks gained momentum. They grabbed an edge in this game. They never looked back. So many other things to unpack here. I'm going to try and keep this video to like 10 minutes or less. But I also want to talk about the nature of contributions tonight. And you get the goals from Cogliano shorthanded, Jasper Weatherby's first in the NHL. That came on the power play. Tomas Hertl on the power play in a second chance opportunity early third. And then Rudolph Balcers also on a rebound to get the Sharks fourth and ultimately game-winning goal. That was at even strength. But, beyond four different goal scorers is the fact that the young guys all had pretty good games. You get William Eklund's first NHL point, assisting on the Hertl goal. You obviously get Jasper Weatherby on the wrister. That was his first point and NHL goal in his very first game. And how about Jonathan Dahlen almost scored? Hellebuck made a pretty good glove save on him. To have those type of players who logged a fair amount of minutes, I wish I would have printed out the game stats here, but to have those guys chip in early here, early in the season, like game one. And look, I understand there's a lot of consistency still to be seen from these guys. Like, let's see how the road trip goes. Let's see how 10 games in, 20 games in looks. But to initially get that first taste of confidence and success, I think goes a huge way. Now you're talking about young guys, right? That was my first area of conversation. How about players like Nick Bonino, and how about Andrew Cogliano? One game in, first Sharks goal of the season, shorthanded of all things, on a 3-on-1. Simple shot, honestly, same thing. His shot and Weatherby's shot picked their corner. That's simple. And how about this? Another aspect of success. The Sharks with 2 power play goals tonight. There were weeks at a time where they didn't get 2 power play goals last year. They were 29th in the league converting on the man advantage last year. And again, just an early confidence boost. Does it mean that everything's fixed? Does it mean that this is how the rest of the season's going to be? No, not necessarily. But to have this taste, this first taste early, I feel like it's going to translate and go a long way. What can we say about Aiden Hill? That's another area, I think, of contribution. And, the first 2 goals allowed on breakaway situations. Actually, I take it back. It was the tip and the second chance, right, for Pierre-Luc Dubois. That was their first goal. And 4:20 into the game, right? That's that's kind of an early red flag for the Sharks and the type of goal that they would allow a lot of those last year, a second chance right out front. Pierre-Luc Dubois scored that way. And then, Aiden Hill on the second goal, and the second Winnipeg goal. Remember, that was the one where he was trying to get the puck back to Carlson. It went off Carlson. Adam Lowry would then find Andrew Kopp. So, transition, I don't want to say, miscommunication on the Pierre-Luc Dubois goal, just not tying him up out front. But, those were types of goals that the Sharks gave up last year. And I understand that's the first two that Hill gives up this year in his first start. And then the Jansen Harkins goal, their third one, Winnipeg's third one, long rebound, weak side. What are you going to do? Those things happen. What I'm saying is the second goal, probably Hill looks back and says that was a mistake. I want that back. But, all things considered, first game, new team, you had him at 2 or fewer for most of the night. I think that has to be seen as a success. Okay, let's also talk about this. The fight that really turned around the game. Now, the Sharks already got one on the scoreboard. That was after the Cogliano goal. But then when Lowry went after Balsers and the Sharks instantly responded, and Middleton goes after the biggest dude on their team, Logan Stanley, 6'7", 6'8". So check this out. Last year, the Sharks did not have a fighting major until 20 games in. It took them 20 games to have their first fight. Now, what is that a measure of? I mean, the situation didn't present itself. You tell me. But the fact that the Sharks responded like that to something that they did not like, and it took them one game this year. So many people during the preseason, had the statement, and I wasn't the first to say it, but I got to be honest. When I heard it, I agreed with it. From what I had seen, the Sharks looked different this preseason. They looked more confident. They looked a little bit more pissed off. Now, what do you typically gauge from preseason? I mean, a lot of times nothing, absolutely nothing. I don't care what their records are. In the case of Eklund, having a point in every game and scoring a goal in the last one, I saw both sides of it. One side of me says it's preseason, dude. Don't take it too serious. But tonight, gets a point, right? Keeps his point streak going. But the overall picture you could tell, I think, from this team during training camp and exhibition season was that they had found something. So, talked about the power play, getting 2 goals. I mean, getting one shorthanded. You got 3 goals on special teams tonight. That was pretty good. And actually, you know what? I mean, Bob Bugner said he felt like it took his team a while to edge into this game. I fully agree, because halfway through the first period, I mean, in the first, the Sharks got outshot 10-6. But halfway through that first period alone, the Sharks had 3 shots on net and 4 shots that missed the net entirely. And I want to say after 40 minutes, did they have 17 shots on net, and 13 had missed the net. They actually missed a lot of shots tonight. What do you chalk it up to? Game 1, I don't know. Did it ultimately make the difference in winning or losing? No, I mean, but that's an area probably that helps next time around. So you win game 1. I don't think anybody's declaring playoffs yet. But it was nice to see, and if you missed the beginning of this video, the main point is just that this was a game that last year the Sharks have it get away from them. Not only do they lose it, but when they're down 2-0 relatively early, like 21 minutes and 11 seconds into the game, that's one that done. And tonight and this year, so far, I'll tell you what, putting up a fight and staying in these types of games, that's a huge difference maker right there. If there's any comments, I can get to those. I can see them up here on the screen, by the way. This is a very impromptu setup. I got to be honest, here in the car, in the parking lot of SAP Center, by the way. How about mood lighting? Want mood lighting off? I don't think that's any better. I mean, this is a little harsh in itself here, but good to see Tomas Hertl get a goal. And By the way, was everybody aware of this? The new promotion this year, when the Sharks score four, remember four in the net pizza you get? Well, how about this? It's nowadays the Sharks score four, you get four tacos from Taco Bell. So Tomas Hertl tonight fed, was he attended 16 something tonight? Tomas Hertl fed 16,000 people with four tacos apiece. You know what? I used to be a big fan of the pizza. It was a round table. That was a good promotion. That was around for years. But tacos in 2021, way better option for me at least, personally. So yeah, what else to discuss here? Going back to the young guys, let me circle back to that. It would have been great if Dolan also had scored on his chance, his one opportunity that was, uh, most likely. But for Weatherby to get his first goal, a fourth liner. How about that? A fourth liner on the power play. Now, two power play goals tonight, and one was a second chance, the Hertl weak side rebound, and the other one was just a simple Weatherby wrister. Carlson fed him, picked his corner. You know, that was not the power play being so cute, right? That was not tic-tac-toe passing and trying to make a highlight reel. That was like, let's put shots on net, let's get rebounds, and see what happens. So Chase says you need to re-sign Hertl ASAP. Look, I mean, the longer this season goes, the more we're going to be looking at a couple things in particular. Hertl's status, contractual status, Eklund's season, how it progresses, the highs and lows. It's going to have a little bit of everything, but how does that go? Alden says it's nice to see that the team didn't get the air let out of their tires after going down 0-2 early. I'm telling you, the biggest number one thing that we will all take away from tonight is this is the game last year that you lose. It's done after 21 minutes, and tonight that was not the case. Now I was just realizing here I was gonna play some music in the car while I do this stream, and then I realized I would get a copyright claim. Not gonna do that. Hey, let me also just close it out here with the atmosphere at SAP Center tonight. Now I have to be perfectly honest, in my maneuvers around the building tonight and stuff I had to do, I was not near a lot of people, not near the stands, but from our broadcast perch, it looked pretty full. A really cool introduction tonight, and the LED lights in the seats, really cool, a really special edition. I noticed a couple of, and again, I'm down on the basement level, the event floor level. All the bathrooms got remodeled at the tank. I'm just looking at the parking lot here. It looks totally repaved. It's amazing what the Sharks and SAP Center did during this off season to keep, and during even last year with the pandemic season, to keep improving this building. They took the time, when events were not here, to do the maintenance work and the upgrades and the improvements that they wouldn't have had time for in normal operations. I'm so glad to see that. That's very cool. Was Ulf Dahlen at the tank tonight to watch his son? I was not aware. I know Honor was mentioning that on the broadcast, but I don't think he was here, which would have been cool. I wonder, right, if it's not even possible with border operations, right? And I don't think the U.S. is allowing, if you come here, it's for work, like all the players. I don't know if foreign family from overseas or across even Canada could come watch their kid play. But yeah, Ulf Dahlen and now Jonathan Dahlen, the first Sharks father-son duo after 31 years. Well, and how else would it be? 31 years of existence. Ulf has played with them, and Jonathan has now played with them. Phil says this team is like day and night from last year. Young guys in Cogliano and Bonino are the difference makers, and I agree. I think you got to put Aiden Hill in that same, difference maker conversation. Can't wait to see James Reimer eventually. That's not a, your backup usually is, and he's going to get seen and tested here early on because in this road trip, the Sharks will play 3 games in 4 nights fairly quickly. So I can't wait to see James Reimer get a chance. Lots of noticeable people on the bottom pairings. I agree. Not only D pairs, Chase, but the forwards. You know, you can't have a team where you're like, who is our third line tonight? What did our fourth line do? Um, I mean, you got a fourth line goal. You got two fourth line goals, right? Cogliano and Weatherby. You got Balser scored a goal. Hurdle with you had scoring again, top to bottom. I mean, you could throw in that. Yeah, you wish you had a goal from your defense, but they were not absent from the play either tonight either. So the only like, if I'm saying dark clouds, right? And I don't want to end like that, but could they have held Winnipeg to two? That just from a statement standpoint, that would have been nice. Inevitably, they're a good team as well. I know they're 0-2, but they made a push. They got a third goal. Um, and I think another thing is, the red flags of early on, you saw a couple odd man chances. There were two or three in the first period alone. And second chances. Those are the things that bit the Sharks last year that you would like to ideally cut down on this year. All right. That's it, everybody. I really appreciate you for being here. Yeah, live outside of SAP Center. Like, I wonder if I can. How can I show this here? Yeah, I'm literally, look at that, in the parking lot right now. And with that said, that is how I'm signing off from the tank for the first time with fans in a long time. Have a good night, everybody.